And how's everyone doing today? Hope you guys had a good night. I uh I just woke up after 3 hours ago after being awake for 25 hours straight. So yeah. So I decided I need to get better at Factorio because it took me far too long to help eke us through that campaign, that run on the server a few weeks ago, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. That took me far too long, and I'm little ashamed of it. So let's get better at the game. Uh, there's there are I have a few quality of life mods on, like copper copper robots, accumulator walls, solar walls, FNEI. Nothing that makes new progression. Accumulator walls and solar walls, they're just there to give me an option to give me more options. They're not progression. Hell, I might not even build them. Who knows? Um, the only thing I've changed as far as the generation is butt flips. Don't like it. So let's get started. Ghost, you let Steve pilot the ship, didn't you? All right, let's get going. I want to be note that it specifically lists the spaceship, in that as broken, implying at one point they intended you to fix the ship and never followed through on that. All these are listing as broken, weirdly enough, the bigger ones. I actually would like to play a mod pack where you have to rebuild the starting ship. That would be kind of cool. That's never a good thing when we end up closer to the copper than we do the iron. Oh well. At least these are separated. I did not find any giant rocks, did I? Oh well. There's a few over there. I didn't go to them. Oh well. That'll at least get me enough to get started. Let's see if I can find some coal rocks while I'm waiting. At the very least, stone is nice to have. Just said I was going for coal rocks and I went for ones that weren't. Come on, brain. I will snipe a few fish in case we get early game attacks. Just smart to have a little healing on tap. Oh yay! No. All right. Well, let's go grab the little meager amount of. Hey, Yuki. Ah, ads. Yeah, yeah. There's enough to get a coal snake going. Yeah, it takes. Welcome back, Yuki. It does take forever for you know, to, you know, get people to recognize you after you change your name. I know that feeling. All right. So we did not have much luck on the early full rock finding. It's kind of disappointing. There's probably a huge rock in these woods somewhere, but I swear I don't know what it is. Lately, every single seed I've rolled has been desert or near desert environments. It's kind of bothering me. Oh man. Nice. I mean, I'd say there's a Souls-like for everyone, but I'm not particularly a big Souls-like chaser. I say as I literally play a game designed to designed about survival by getting good at the game. Nice. That is still the weirdest thing that they added that sort of stuff to the game. Nice they did. It does give some variety to the game, but still feels weird. All right, I need to grab coal before I head for copper. Got to get a little copper going. Shouldn't need too much. It's early game. Nice. Go ahead and start grabbing some wood. You know what? Let's just grab dead ones. How about that? Or near dead. I just need a little more copper. Just enough so we can get electronics. There we go. All right. That gets us legitimately the kind of bare minimum we need. Except I need a few more copper plates. Nice. Yeah, it is hard to find games that actually want to stick to the frame rate you put them at. I'm not going to lie. But that also means you've got a solid enough system to keep it at those frame rates, which is even nicer. I need some iron.
Oh, behave. Yeah.
How you
Yeah,
doing, Slim?
baby.
How you doing, Slim? Yeah, I wish I'm still working on a 1660 Ti myself, but it's solid. It does the work. I cannot complain about it not doing the work. That's for sure. It is. It is. Problem is, the rest of the system is a pre-built. It's a pre-con, so I'm probably not gonna get much more than like another year out of it. Slim, that is abuse. That is abuse, man. I swear you need to check out the labor laws for your area, make sure they can legally do that. In regards to time off, because that does not feel right. Yeah, my only issue with mine being a pre-built Chungus, Yuki, uh, it's a pre-built with proprietary stuff, with a proprietary board and stuff like that. So I can't upgrade it like I would a normal PC. Which sucks. Because I would have definitely put more RAM in it by now. And that whole, you know, whole freaking issue also means I'm locked into Windows 10 and I can't upgrade to 11 to keep me from you know keep my system from being obsolete in October. I swear, Slim. it- every time you tell me about the kind of work schedule you're on, it feels like you are just massively being taken advantage of by your boss. I mean, if you've never had any other system, then Windows 11 wouldn't seem bad. But the fact that they pushed an update that broke that broke it, the OS completely is what's setting a lot of people off. You know, it's just the it's just the equivalent of it was the equivalent of handing a lit firecracker to a child. Hey soul, how you doing? Yeah, starting a new one because I need to get better at the game. We beat. Oh right, I always forget. I don't know why they don't enable that by default. All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, going from 7 to 11. Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, my starting patches were kind of spread out here, so yeah, I'm I'm in the air, up in the air about whether I want to go that route myself. Right now, I just need to power this. Yeah, yeah. You went from 7, which was it was a thing, to 11, which is also a thing, but with more ads. Seriously, I don't get why they put ads in in your on an operating system. Yeah, yeah. 11 is. I'm probably giving it too much guff because I haven't actually gotten to use it yet. 11. Yeah. Yeah, but the fact that you have to remove the ads to and it's like the fact that they're enabled by default tells you exactly how much of a financial issue window Microsoft's in. They've enabled ads by default on an operating system. Hmm? On a paid operating system, yeah. Well, to be fair, if you bought a pre-built, there's a good chance a pre-built there's a oh, nice. But at the same time, it's also essentially you're living just to work, and that's not kosher. That's not kosher to be basically living to work. Yeah, queue up the copper roboport. If you're living just to work, you're not really living. You're paying somebody else's bills with your own time. How big is that nest up there by the stone? 2. Let's go make some more firearm magazines and try to go tackle it. Yeah. Yeah, no, I gotta build more. A lot more. But my starting patches are so spread out. My starting patches are so spread out that I'm having to basically basically run around in circles to get anything done. Yeah. Oh, I mean, if you bring it to I'd say bring it to HR, but make sure you have a lawyer on tap in case they decide to retaliate. Yeah, that's why I said have a lawyer on tap too. You can make all the arguments you want, but somebody who actually knows the routes to any filings necessary makes them more concerned than the issue. course, you getting a payout for troubles doesn't pay your bills long term. Just gives you a little bit of I told you so. So I can understand not wanting to rock the boat too much. Yeah, I need more ammo. Need to get light. Yeah, my brain is farty out on what I get from from military one. Yeah, I should get the SMG before I go try to take on that base, just because it'll be easier. Drinking and drunk at work. Sex. Yeah, that sounds like something that a lawyer needs to get involved in, man. An SA situation with female coworkers. Oh, in the U.S., your boss wouldn't even be able to find a job in a gas station. Yeah. Anything less than a termination or a cut to his pay is not a punishment. It's a being it's yeah. Anything that's not an actual punishment to them is just them sweeping it under the rug, and yeah, that's not right. Now, mind you, and you know, mind you, it's not like all American companies are some paragon you know, of safety, but you know, we have enough, we have enough federal, you know, departments that we can contact about stuff like that. That it makes HR actually at least somewhat think about the employees. I didn't say they do a good job of it, but they do at least think. Slim, all I can say is if somebody had said that when I was working at Taco Bell or even where I am now, uh that manager would have gotten met out back by a pack of employees who would have made sure they did, that he couldn't walk again. And he wouldn't be able to point to any one person because they'd have made sure that they weren't identified. That, you know, yeah, now that is not kosher in the slightest. That, you know, heck, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure if most companies found out an employee, management said that to an employee, their first reaction would be how quickly do you want your termination papers? Because at least in the US, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Well, okay. For one thing, the company responding like that is them basically saying, "Well, we agree that you're fat," and that's just as ooh as the other one. Yeah, that's you complaining about about a manager who who threw around a slur. That's the situation. That's complaining about a manager who threw around a slur, and then the manager saying, and then HR saying, "Well, you are." That's the kind of thing that can get HR fired too, and that's why you check your freaking your laws about recording, and you record, and if they say anything to you, you demand it, and you're not recording, you demand that they send their reply via email so that you have a recording of it. You know, they say shit that's just not right. You say, "Can I get that in writing?" And you watch them clam up real fast and apologize. Companies do not like being called to accountability, and you got to call them to accountability for shit like that. And that's just my personal opinion. That's not I'm no lawyer or anything like that. You know, if your job is throwing around insults like that at you, you've got to make sure you're defending yourself. If they're throwing that around to coworkers, help them defend themselves. That is not that is not okay, and it is not the kind of thing you should ever let them get away with. All right, we're not sitting great, but at least we're running. Wait, did I make two? Oh, crap. Yeah. Record. And anytime he's telling you you need to do this, you need to do that, and it seems kind of inappropriate, make sure you're asking for his orders in the email. You know, make sure any communications you make with HR are through email so they can't say, well, no, you're just saying that. You know, because they can't say you're lying when it's on a corporate email. They can try, but they'll fail. Really? Yeah, and I'm not trying to, you know, push you towards filing lawsuits or anything. I'm just concerned about about your own health, man. You know that. I've been saying for a while that I think you work way too much for, you know, all right, let's get these down while I'm down here. You might want to check the legality on them not allowing you to have your phone on you. You might want to check the legality on that because, you know, now having it out at work, they can say yes, we can we can agree to that, but you need to check your laws on on you know consent for recording and stuff like that. You know that that feels shady and like they're intending for for you to not be able to. There's a limit to that, though. There's a limit to that. Company secrets? Yes. Harassment? No. They're not allowed to conceal harassment because, you know, from the federal or the company. Yeah, well, you know, if the company's believing one manager over 15 employees saying this is a problem, then yeah. Yeah, I think you need to do a deep dive into the into federal legality where you live, man, cuz that feels rotten. That feels rotten. That feels completely rotten, man. No, you're not allowed to record us because you might record us do it. You might record us, violating your rights. Yeah, now that stinks of rottenness there. That still stinks. That still stinks of, you need to look at the federal laws on him on you know on recording. All right, so I am running a mod called Copper Roboport, called Copper Robots for early game, you know, early game, bots. I'm gonna use them, but I don't know how much I'm gonna use them. Like I'm not trying to do a lot of blueprinting, but I'd like to try it out. I probably need to go ahead and think about putting together another coal snake. No, I'm not burning my wood. I'm burning coal. Yeah, I can't speak about corporate espionage, but if their procedures for corporate espionage are being used to push down employees, and that's something the federal, something federal offices would probably have issue with. Because despite what they're probably trying to pretend, anything in the name of security is not the name of the game when it comes to employee rights. And if All right, let's find out how slow these let's see. I think I have As soon as the hey, it's a really small bundle. Look how close those biters are to it. Oh, Slim. Well, at least the worm's down. Yeah, you are good at that. All right, there we go. Bugs? Why are you going to be teaching bugs? Ghost isn't the biggest knucklehead you and me know. He can be one, but he's not the biggest one we know. So, too far apart. Or rather, don't need to put them apart. Yeah, you weren't there for the end of Ghost's stream, were you? When I called it a day, bruh, Bugs was blasted, man. Like, holy cow. I mean, to be fair, everyone's still learning things about plugins with OBS. Like every time we start getting it down pat, something changes. That's not entirely Ghost's fault, and we both know that. Okay. To be fair, when he I'm completely self-taught on it, but I went through like 50 tutorials to even approximate a decent knowledge of it. And even I know I'm a rank beginner at it. The real challenge he's got to get around is his mic volume. Ghost, if you're here, I keep saying it, man. I keep saying it, man. Whatever is going on with your mic, man. I know you got a new one. What is your positioning for it? I know you're wearing a mask, so it does affect it a little, but I don't know what to do. Yeah, no, I didn't. When I started green screening, I had no friends in the streaming space. You know, I had I had I had one or two actual viewers like I do now, but but it was even earlier. I had nobody and just did it myself. Tried things out until they worked. Followed tutorials. It was a case of I don't like having to figure this out on my own, but I want it to be done. You can't, like they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. All right, well, I think at this point we're just about ready to start automating. Really automating, not oh look, I set up two assemblers to make one thing. I should probably get some get some hand-fed electronic circuits set up before I do, though, along with some belts. Because being able to just grab a stack of electronic circuits out of a chest is more useful than you think of. Also, why does my copper patch have one hanging? I'm not my copper, my iron patch. My iron patch has one hanging. Yeah, I'm gonna set this up for hand feed. I don't not gonna. I mean, you see that how long that's taken. Why am I putting that there? Yeah. 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 Be able to just it feels like the most basics of basics being able to set up a quick and dirty chroma key background. I won't say it's the first thing I learned because it absolutely wasn't, but it was pretty early on. It's not what I clicked. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I did get StreamerBot set up on my system. I even got the Stream Deck integration set up, so it's not I'm not using it yet, but it's set up so that once I have so that I can start diving in and learning what I can do with it. All right. Well, I need to set up some more research. I'd like to get a radar going. I don't have steel meat being made yet, so actually it feels weird that I'm legitimately about to start making steel in this game without actually getting a automation set up. This feels weird and wrong. But I would rather have a trickle of steel coming in to do things with than to not. Yeah, I definitely need to start. My coal is in such a bad spot for doing anything with it. You know what? I don't know why I did that. I just automated electronic circuits so I wouldn't have that problem. And then I went and did that. Like, gears are okay. Gears are okay. Half-second crafting time. It's not a multi-stage. It does feel like I'm going to get more use out of it once I'm back on my own, though. And I can, and I have the camera and everything available again. I will say that it does feel like I'm going to get more use out of it once I'm out of my, back in my own place and I'm using and I have my camera again. You know, the whole reason, because the whole reason I don't now is out of respect for the fact that I'm in my parents' house. Um, for followers and subs, yeah. I get the feeling you're already planning a few troll ones like when Ghost or you show up, aren't you? But to be fair, I need to do the dive in on my own so I can learn exactly what it can do, all it can do. I don't need to just, I'm glad for any material you make, but I also need to learn how to do how everything works. So, yes, thank you for the for the widgets, but I've also got to do some work myself. It will bother me if I don't. Wait, what do you mean it's gone? Because it's in the other one, not the one that I'm wearing. Well, then it sounds like first thing I need to do right now is just go ahead and set down my throw useless things in box. Because the fact of the matter is, every Factorio player ends up with one at some point. I don't have a use for this. It can sit right here and spin. Nice. All right, yeah, I gotta. I could make a bunch, but the whole point of setting it up for automation is that I'm not having to manually craft it. I mean, I threw down a lot of gift subs at Ghost on his birthday. I think it completely blindsided him. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, the freaking the freaking I need to learn what the bot is capable of doing, and stuff like that. Feels wrong to not know what the bot is capable of doing if I'm going to use it. That would have been so much faster if I just dragged it out myself, but I wanted to see how slow they actually were. Probably going to need to go set up more yeah, it's I got a lot on my hands when it comes to getting that set up. That's just a point of fact. I know that. All right, my brain. Now, here's the nice thing. I have access to steel already. I'm not making it to advanced material processing without setting up a furnace stack. Damn. All right. I was going to say, can I jump straight to steel furnaces? But no. But this does mean I basically need to... I need to go grab... I should have set up a stone... I did not set up a stone miner that wasn't stone brick. I should have. That's going to get rerouted, by the way. What do we think? Do we take our bus up or down? Feels like our bus should go up here. Since our coal iron's down here and there's a forest here, feels like our furnace stack should be going across and then snake and do a mall going up. Right now, I'm all a bus going up. What do you think, Slim? Is up the way to go, or is out the side here where we're getting, the way to go? Yeah, up feels the right way to go. This can be rerouted through the furnace stacks. You are out? Okay. Alright, well that puts a bit of a hump in the pipeline there, but also justifies me getting the steel set up. I mean the iron set up. Okay, right away. I know I need to go grab. Just drop you right there so I can see a little more on the map. I am going to need to start worrying about pollution here soon. I saw that I can get the Discord integration. I didn't set that up yet, but I'm going to. Yeah, I am looking forward to the to that to that particular aspect because that is one thing I do have issue with is consistent notifications. All right, I want you right here. Yeah, it might not be the most efficient, but this is a fun way to get rid of everything. Let the bots do it. You just gotta walk around and make sure they can reach everything. They're honestly more useful for blueprints and stuff like that, but I mean, I just spent 5, 10 minutes digging up a bunch of cutting up a bunch of trees. This takes 2, and I'm getting some stone. What are we thinking? 2 iron stacks? Yeah, I'm thinking 2 iron stacks. That's not. That's too far out. There we go. But we also need a steel stack, just because. Hmm. I mean, it's still early game. You know what? We're gonna go with 1 iron, 1 steel. Not because I don't think we need more iron, but because I don't think my one patch is going to support 2 iron and a steel. Oh, a little. Oh, that made me pucker there, Slim. Why'd you do that? I mean, it's pragmatism. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. It's pragmatism, though. You know, the last thing I need is Last thing I need is my everything being slowed down by the fact that I don't have the ore input to meet demand. And while I can eke a little more out of this, it's not a full belt more. You hope to start a bidding war? No. Last thing I need is a bidding war about iron stacks. Good God, that would be a disaster. Alright, I need to, my brain is farting on this. On the header for the stack. Oh yeah, no, I saw it. I just was like, nah, I can't be an auctioneer on this one. Let's be honest, the only thing any of us are qualified to auction off is when the next time Ghost is gonna get a date. And even that feels like we'd be like it'd be insulting Ghost over it. He's got some, his relationship troubles don't need to be aired more than that. But why am I putting it on that side anyway? It should be on that side so I can. Dude, I feel you. I'm, you know. Brain, don't yawn. Only been playing for an hour and a half. Don't yawn. I slept for like 9 hours. Brain yawns, even worse than brain farts. Yeah, and I'll just feed. Well, I knew it was going to be wet. I didn't think it'd be that bad. And that provides for the next stack to be right there.
He is coming. Cover your butt.
Shade is taking time off from the internet. I lost count there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right, If I want a full stack of 48, that means... All right, let's go see if we can grab. We need to perform maintenance on our systems anyway. Let's go grab some more copper. Because we're going to have to get a copper stack going too. Yeah, no, Shade won't be streaming for a while, don't worry. Shade won't be streaming for a while because her how to put this, her computer blew a capacitor. So she's completely out of the PC game for a while. She was trying to launch a stream when it happened. Which one? I mean, we were playing Star Rupture on stream yesterday. Yeah, we were playing it on stream. We had a blast. That was when I had to call it a day though because I had been up for way too long. Yeah, we even got Ghost to admit that he was enjoying it far more than he thought he was. The fact that apparently later in the game it basically turns into a tower defense had him like, ooh. Yeah, no, I think we might have found Ghost's new favorite game. That Flash, that would actually be kind of cool. Someone spent all the credit points after I left. That doesn't surprise me. That would actually be kind of cool. Challenging, but cool. I mean, when it comes to science, the first science per minute science, it's how much you need to meet your requirements, and then after that, it's how much you feel like making. You know, once you meet your needs, then it's like seasoning when you're doing it right. It's whatever your heart feels is right. You know, you want more than the bare minimum? Go for it. If you want only the bare minimum, that's you. You know, if you're scaling for infinite science, more is probably better. 1.5k SPM of just red alone is phenomenal and will outstrip any of your needs through the entire game. If you need more than 1.5k, my question is, what are you doing? Probably playing modded, to be honest. Oh. Of what? 20 green circuits? Yeah, that's probably a little under on green circuits if you're playing modded. I swear, modded Factorio gets insane on the number of circuits you need, even by regular Factorio standards. Hey, Dirk, how you doing? It's the whole reason I'm Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, the thing is, green circuits, they process, they process faster. You know, if you're bringing in copper cables and you're not having to make them on site, you know, 1.2, 1.2 seconds in the player, it's 5.5 seconds for automation. It's almost 5 times slower to make the red pack than it is to make green circuits. Unless you're, even, and that's not going to change when you're using top tier automated, top tier assemblers beaconed with speed and production. It's not going to change the fact that the time ratio starts at nearly 5 times the difference. And because you can ship in, you are making cables next to the assembler. All right. Well, I mean, as long as you've got it in the right ratio, it still sounds about right. I mean, I'm assuming you're beaconing and modulating everything and using top tier assemblers. Yeah, it sounds about right. You know, then with the like with the science, it probably comes down, like I said, to the fact that it's that even with beaconing and speed mod, All right, so you're definitely playing modded then. I'm assuming what mod? Um, Space Aid? No, oh, 5 Dim. I have not played that one yet. Um, hmm. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that mod, so I wouldn't know for sure. But provided provided your provided your ratios for for time aren't off. Yeah, no, that sounds about right. You know, I mean, I would have to play the mod pack and see what it's like first. Ah, ah. Then you might, then you might, you might be having an issue with one of the still broken mods. I don't know. Like I said, I've never played that mod pack before. I'm I'm in the middle of a I'm running through vanilla one more time before I take a crack at Crastorio and then moving on from there to see what kind of what kind of weird fuckery I can get up to. Yeah, but like I said, I don't know that particular mod pack. I don't know that, so I can't speak to how it runs. But at least for me, I'm in the process of, reaffirming my basics before I move on to a Crastorio run because you know feels like when it comes to Factorio mods, you learn how to do Crastorio, then you learn how to do you know then you move move on from there. Feels like it's one of the early stages to modded Factorio, so I feel the need to do it. I mean, it sounds like you're probably pretty solid on it. I put that too far. There we go. Sounds like it should be pretty solid. Give it a spin up, see if it meets your needs, and then adjust from there. That's when you're talking about late game Factorio, where things are measured in the thousands. That's usually how it has to go. Does this meet my requirements? Yes, no, potatoes. And yes, potatoes can be a valid answer on that. Believe me. Wouldn't think it. Yeah. I mean, I personally, my personal goal for for playing modded Factorio is to eventually run Pyanodons. My goal is to eventually do a Pyanodons run, and if you've ever seen that mod pack, you know exactly. Yeah, yeah, you know exactly why it's a goal to get to that point, not a I'm gonna start with that. I'm working my way towards it though. But I'm at the same time I'm a streamer, so you subjecting myself to CBT in the name of content is kind of expected at some point or another. The fact that it's Factorio just means it's something I at least enjoy. Yeah, no, that Pyanodon's run's probably gonna break me, I'll be honest. Yeah. That beacons and infinite research can do some wild things. Why were you only putting that through one lab? There should have been at least an array of like 12. Oh, Space Age. Okay, that explains it. I'm upset those are going to get caught, but I can delete the ghosts on those. Yeah, yeah. You know, when you get infinite research going, things can get really wild, especially from what I hear about Space Age. And yes, I am choosing to use the copper what do you call them the copper robots mod. It's nice having the extra little bit of help, you know?
It's a Gundam!
Where? Don't get me excited like that, Slim. I know the science from Space Age gets ridiculous. was some dedication put into that one, I'm not gonna lie. This one I gotta add on a steel furnace and steel to it. Might as well just go ahead and disassemble that. I'm not going to get any more out of that. Nice. Yeah, no, I'm going to need to... I am definitely going to be looking into what I can do with Streamer Bot. Also, Slim, you need to look into the Alchemy RPG, virtual tabletop. I am going to be trying to run a campaign through it. It really only gave me that. Right, rock honey it is. So how are we? It's getting a little close over there and there. Not entirely happy about that. And even nicer, not only is the Alchemy VTT free, it comes with the core rules. Okay, use Google to search Alchemy RPG VTT. Ooh, yeah, no, that sounds like you would absolutely wreck it. Yeah, I still haven't gotten to play Space Age, and it kind of irritates me. How badly are we? Are massively overtaxing. Search Alchemy RPG VTT on Google. Ooh. Yeah, no, I could not, I that's one of the things I've got to learn how to do is I never use nuclear power. You don't need it to finish the base game. It's a nice thing. Yeah. Yeah, and I never learned how to learned the chain for setting it up and everything. So I need to do that. Like processing uranium and all that. I never learned that chain. And I really need to. Really? 1 petawatt of power. Sounds like a dream. Yep. This is the one that needs to be converted to steel. Trying to remember how to do that efficiently. Is it like that? Yes, it is. It's not pretty, but works. But that sums up a lot of Factorio builds. It ain't pretty, but it works. Yeah, like I said, I've never checked out 5dim. I might have to look into that. What's up? What's up, DJ Slim? Slim, send it to me. Send me what you're looking for over Discord. I see a ghosty one. Ghosty is traumatized. Let me here, let me copy and paste it over to you on Discord, man. Nice. Squarespace I know nothing about, but that's yes, that is it. That is it, Slim. You just somehow ended up on a Squarespace, version of on the Squarespace side of it. Why would I ever want to make 5 of those? Screw you. Yeah, but it's free. The base program is free. It comes with D&D 5th edition's rule set already available to you for free. And you can purchase additional libraries. The reason I'm interested in this one is because, well, Fabula Ultima published an official core rulebook module for it. Meaning they made their system work in it. And you know how much I love talking. You love Fabula Ultima. Yeah, I know. It's, and part of it's my fault. Part of it's just life kicking us in, in the short and curlies every time. Like every time I try to set up a date, something goes wrong. Every time I try to set up a date for us to start, something goes wrong. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to have enough iron to carry us long term. I'm just going to go ahead and pull all these up. Yeah, yeah, like that. Or like Shade and her entire pot of hot pasta water spilling all over her lower half, or Ghost having his emotional breakdown. You know, yeah, it's like life really wants to kick me in the short and curlies anytime I want to try to plan something with friends. Happened when I was living with roommates too. I swear, sometimes it's like life really just does not want you to, have a good day. I think I'm only gonna do 16 for the steel. And I came to the conclusion after we failed to get that one off the ground, that to make sure we had all the knowledge necessary to run that properly, I wanted to run through the tutorial campaign. So we're gonna set that up one of these days and get that done. What time is it? And Ghosty messaged me a little while ago that he got the trauma finger. He got the trauma finger, Slim, from his doctor. He was having it was time for him to have a certain exam, and well, I mean, when you send somebody, thank God my doctor is a woman with small hands, you can't expect us to not know exactly what you're talking about right away. Like, what did you think we were gonna think, Ghost? Yeah. He it sounded like with the fact that it was Ghost getting it done makes me think it might have been a requirement of his continued employment. Because of where he works. Which means which means it's essentially a government requirement, and that just sucked all the fun out of it, huh? Never thought I'd say that, but I really did just say that. I apologize. He's not over 40 yet. He's low 30s still. He's the babby of the group, remember? Yeah, no, I kind of agree. It is better to be safe than sorry. All right, and I got one more that I gotta stamp down today. Because we got copper we got to do too. Brown tree is in the way. Rude. I need to go get more stone. All right. Wait, movie? What? Swear it sounds like somebody is beating a warthog to death outside my house right now. Oh. Oh God, they better not screw those up. If they screw those up, Hollywood might actually burn. That's not even me trying to be facetious. Those are beloved long-time, those are beloved long-time, IPs. If they screw those up, somebody might actually catch a consequence. Same reason it's taken so long for the Robotech movie to come out. The Robotech live action. Everyone, every fan is terrified that they're going to completely screw it up. That and it goes through more. That and it's gone through more directors than I think just about any other movie I've ever seen. For a while, Tobey Maguire was going to be the one playing Rick. I don't know how that would have gone. I don't think he would have played a good Rick. Yeah, the problem is, it's modern Hollywood. They don't know how not to piss off people. Maybe Hollywood from 10 years ago could have done it. But modern, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I just don't know if modern. So he's the villain. Because I wouldn't. The king of one of the. That. Please tell me they're not Please tell me they're not giving the princess's role to a guy and calling him Prince instead. If they do that, they might actually have a riot on their hands. So they're writing their own story instead of working with the material that's already there. There's going to be a subtitle to this movie, and if it doesn't involve the word legacy somewhere, I'm going to be pissed off. That's the only way they can justify that. Is, you know. Oh, hey, look, the biters are finally come around. Which means we've finally reached it here. Means I need to... Still waiting on a replacement. Makes me wonder which of those did it. That implies that that implies second generation pilots, though. And that would make him a third generation pilot. Where am I being attacked? Oh, my labs. All right, well, we are officially at the point we need to start arming and armoring up, I suppose. Come on. Makes me a little concerned about which one is the one doing it. Gotta be this one. Wait, I have oil right there? I have a single crude oil right here. What the shit? A single well. That's funny. Oh. Yeah, it'll get me started, and he'll fuel my freaking the flamethrowers primarily, but God, that's that's my power being attacked now. Okay, yeah, it is the one upstairs. Apparently, I'm gonna need one soon. I would rather the extra ammo. I'm also gonna need to make more power. You saw that power grid. Fairly satisfying. There we go. Yeah, the bugs do need to leave my power poles alone. Well, it's not where it's gonna stay, but I guess this means I need to build a dirty mall here. No, so it is the lower one, not the upper one. I think I do remember somebody named Harkov, but the name off the top of my head took me a moment to think about. Wasn't he the name of the main villain, I'm wanting to say? My brain is not functioning, towards other things at the moment. You'll have to forgive me. I haven't taken a look at it, by the way, yet. I want ammo here. Nope, that's not the one for copper. The other one is. I mean, Henry Cavill makes sense as the main lead. Hmm. I'm not. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see. I can't take the time to watch it right now. I need to get up there and get copper going so I can get research going again. And where are you now? Ooh, is that some hostiles over here? Yes, it is. I need another radar. I need another radar. I need to be able to see the upper half of my base too. God, these patches are so bizarrely shaped. More often than not, they are shooting more and more movies out where you live nowadays, man. Ever since they lobotomized the reason companies came to where I live to film, it's like, no, we don't want to. No, we don't want people to come here to be, and to come see movie stuff. We want them to. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that was a big part of the reason, but I don't think it's all of it. Swear, it sounds like somebody is fist fighting a buffalo outside. Alright, well, we've at least got... Oh, right, and my science is just completely offline because of the damn fighters at the moment. All right, I think I am going to call it a day here, though. Even though we're starting to have to fight off biter attacks, we're researching green science. We've got our furnace stacks up, and we've got the beginnings of a main bus. I do still want to drag down a line of stone and get up like a small furnace stack on that going. And where are they now? Over here, yeah. Yeah, I bet you did, still being damaged. Yeah. But, repair that up. Looks like we're gonna need to reinforce the end of this until we get our Alright, hopefully that'll be enough to fend off things for a little longer. Meanwhile, I have no ammo because I just threw it all into defending things. I gotta get up there and put at least one more turret up there. It's not gonna last much longer. And we gotta get... You know what? I've got to grab some more ammo. I have no ammo whatsoever at the moment. But, we're gonna call it here. You know what? Before we do... It is just the most terrible automation ever. I want more ammo being made. I'll fix it later. But, yeah. Done. All right, yeah, I'm calling it. Let's find somebody to raid. Who do we got in the Factorio category right now? Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I just went to Twitch's homepage to, go and check, see who's live in the category. They have a Roblox tab now. I hate it. On the top. Go look at it, Slim. I hate that. Yeah, go to twitch.tv on your PC and look at the top corner where you go to browse and following. There's a Roblox tab. I hate that. I've never watched this streamer before. And of course, we're getting attacked in the destroyed things kind of way. So let's go solve that before we... And I have no ammo. Yeah, I know. I know, Slim. I can't post that, but I know. That game is literally cancer, and we both know it. Well, clearly we need. I was gonna do something else, but clearly we need to start working on science too, and on military too. There, so let's throw you in there. All right, and before it can get any worse on me, I'm gonna go ahead and save. Yeah, no, I know. I know. And we are gonna raid Oma Rule. I've never checked them out, but you know, they're pretty. They only had a few people, so I figure let's raid them. So, anyone who wants to go raid, jump in. There you guys go. Get ready. Get set. I will see you guys next time. Catch you later. Peace.